Okay, so when I hit a bunker shot, when I first step into the sand, I'm gonna really feel how much sand is underneath my feet. So if I have a lot of sand, the ball's typically gonna be able to fly pretty high. Whereas if there was not much sand, the ball's gonna come out pretty low. So just stepping in a bunker, you can kind of feel what type of shot you're gonna be able to hit. And then stepping up to the ball, you're gonna look and you're gonna see how much the ball is sitting up or sitting down, because that's obviously gonna dictate what you can do with it. And this lie is pretty good. So I think I'm going to be able to get a little bit of roll, but a lot of it is going to be trajectory, so I can flight this pretty close to the hole. So I'm just going to step in with the club face pretty open. I got a lot of green to work with, so I can flight it as far as I want.
Well, today we're at Old Waverly. This is the southern beauty of golf and nature and life. We're hearing the birds, and I'm so glad to be today with Mississippi State University women's golf team coaches. We've got Ginger Brown, who is with us today, as well as Lee Phillips, and their player, who is the star, one of the stars of their team, who is Allie McDonald. And want to welcome you and thank you for being on the road in between.
Thank you for having us.
We're excited.
We're glad that y'all could share a little bit of your story. Now, this is your home course, is that right, at Old Waverly?
It is. We're blessed to have this as the crown jewel of our programs here.
It seems like Augusta when I was driving in. Not that I ever drove into Augusta, but it felt like it. It's just got a wonderful feel, a lot of peace here. And this is where, you know, this is your ministry. This is your mission field in a way. And as coaches, you get to be with a number of players. If you could walk us through a little bit about where you came from and where you are today on this road in between, and what brought you to Mississippi State University. We'll start with Coach Brown.
I've been blessed. I grew up in a small town, Hope, Arkansas, and we lived on the 5th hole of a 9-hole course there, and grew up playing, and was blessed enough to play on a full scholarship at the University of Texas. And yeah, go Jordan, right? You know, I've spent my life playing and competing, and I missed my tour card 2 shots in a row, and went off the tracks quite a bit there for a while. And I actually sold shoes at Dillard's department store. And I share this story with some of my athletes when they go through a tough time, but it took selling shoes at Dillard's to be humbled and to figure out that, you know what, the good Lord made me, and I was not the score that I posted on that board, that it was okay, that I was God's child, and that I'm supposed to be a light, and that I can't let my success or failure be the result of that number. So I got into the PGA of America and got my Class A certification, and taught and ran golf courses and ran tournaments for years, but I really missed the competitive side. So after my babies were a certain age, I felt like I had a window of opportunity there, and the good Lord slung open a door to start coaching at Arkansas State, and was there for 2 years. And I'd been eyeballing this program at Mississippi State, and word got back to me that Christy Sanders was retiring after 23 years, really one of the few coaches that they had had here. And I said, Lord, this would be an incredible opportunity. It's the style of community that we like. We're small town. We love the outdoors. If it be your will, I want you to know that I want that job. And I had this peace about me, and from day one, door after door flung wide open, and within just a few weeks I was in Starkville talking to them, and it's been an amazing journey. And after 5 years of being here, I would not be anywhere else. It's been a blessing to my family and I. It's been a blessing to have Coach Phillips. I did not mess up recruiting Allie McDonald in the early stages, so she's been a light for us for sure. And it's just a blessing all the way around. We've got an incredible, I know that you've talked to Scott Stricklin, the network of support that we have and the Christian atmosphere that we have. Now, mutually exclusive they're not, being a Christian and competitive, because we're very competitive. But I think that we keep it in perspective too. We know that at the end of the day we still have to be good people and treat people with respect and show Jesus' light. So I'm blessed to be around these two every day, that's for sure.
Well, you bring an incredible gift of leadership to this program. I want to thank you for that.
I'm the fortunate one.
Well, Lee, you came on board after Coach Brown came here,
I did. I had the pleasure and honor to play golf here at Mississippi State, and I grew up a huge Mississippi State fan, so that was always my dream. And it's funny, my cousin pulled out the other day my newspaper article for my senior year, and it said, "In 10 years, where would you be?" And it says I'd be on the LPGA Tour. Well, obviously I'm not there. And you know, when I played golf here, I had an injury my sophomore year, and I found out I had to have my foot and ankle reconstructed. And I'll never forget that day, because you think, this isn't what I play golf, why am I hurt? And I remember I was at the health center, and I came out to my car, and my dad was there for a baseball game, and he left a note on my car, and he said, "Everything's going to be okay. God has a plan for you." And that year, when I was redshirting, my coach let me help her coach. She didn't have an assistant, so I helped with qualifying, and that's when I saw that I had the passion for coaching. So things work out. You know, God has a plan, and my plans are sometimes not His, and that's okay, because change is a good thing. So I love what I do, and I'm very blessed.
That's fantastic. Well, Allie, you are at your senior year, and you have a chance to look back. Right now, you've got a few weeks left before you graduate and move on. Can you share with us a little bit about how a girl from Fulton, Mississippi ended up being one of the best in the world at your sport?
Well, honestly, I can't explain it. You know, it's just been a weird process, just coming from such a small community and growing up at a 9-hole golf course like Coach, and just being surrounded by people who love God. And I was very, very fortunate to grow up in a Christian home, and my family have, you know, they took me to church from day one and really appreciated everything that God had given me. So starting out, and when I was in the process of choosing a college, I knew I wanted to be close to home and to be around my family, because I'm very fortunate to have all of my grandparents and a brother who's younger than me, so I try to go watch him when I can. But just through all that, I've learned so much, and just to keep everything in perspective and to cherish what I'm given. So,
do you learn more through success or failure?
I think you learn more through failure, but you do learn through success as well. With failure, I think you really grasp what it is that you're trying to learn, because obviously you fail for a reason. But on and off the golf course, we learn from failures, whether it's, well, I hit it here one day, or maybe I shouldn't hit it there this time, or in life, you know, well, I went to this place, maybe I shouldn't go there anymore. You know, just it's all kinds of things, and through failure, I think you learn, and you learn what to do right the next time. But also through success, I think, you know, if you take it the wrong way, some people aren't, you know, they take success and they run with it, and they run far from what God has called them to be. So with success, I think you have to know how to handle that, and just to be humble and experience things and give, obviously, the glory to God, because He's the one who's given it to you.
Fantastic. We were talking on the way up about your driver, and I was asking you which driver you hit, and you said a Ping G30. And I have a G15, but they keep getting better and better, and one of the things that they improve on is a key word. You remember what we talked about?
The forgiveness of the club, yeah.
Forgiveness. It's all about forgiveness. You can't have enough forgiveness. So we keep improving that, and that is a great metaphor for us with golf and life. And we will purchase forgiveness. The good news, though, is that God purchased forgiveness for us. It's not what we do, it's what God did through Christ on the cross, and that forgiveness is everything. And you're this in-between time, you're trying to keep it in the fairway, and on each side is the rough and hazards and water. When you come to a tee box, how do you handle fear and where not to hit it, and focusing on where the mental side of the golf swing?
Yeah, I think a lot of golfers, it's very easy to get mechanical on the golf course. So you start thinking swing, and you start thinking all these other things, when all you have to think about is that target. And of course, it sounds easy, but it's very difficult, and you know, sometimes you don't hit it where you want to. But it's actually really funny. The movie The Patriot, he says aim small, miss small. So a few years ago, my dad was like, you know, that's a really good idea to take on the golf course, and I started writing it on my glove and just kind of remembering that. I don't ride it on my glove now, but it's just a really cool thing. So when you're on the golf course and you do have all these things, I think if you focus on the bad things, that's what will happen. So on the golf course, you just have to kind of aim small, find a small target, and then your misses will be smaller.
Very good. Curtis Cup. Share with us about what the Curtis Cup is for our viewers who aren't familiar, and what that experience was like, and just briefly. I know it was a long, exciting journey for you.
Yeah, so there's 8 girls chosen to represent the United States and 8 to represent Great Britain and Ireland. And you come together and you play kind of a Ryder Cup format. And the quote on the trophy is to have friendly rivalry. So that's what the tournament is about. It's just everyone to come together, and it's a competition, but it's all for fun.
Some people coach their entire life and are not fortunate enough to have a Curtis Cup selection. And so Coach Phillips and I were there with every step, yes, enjoying all of it. I think I had goosebumps for 4 days straight. It was an honor. It was an honor. It
really is. Well, this road in between is not where you go it alone. You have people around you. You're flanked with 2, not only coaches, but big fans of yours, Allie. And we all support you. And as a Mississippi girl, we look forward to seeing where the Lord's going to lead you on and off the course. And I want to thank the 3 of you for sharing a little bit of your time with us at Old Waverly.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tom.
Great.